Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm bringing to you best of 3 between Orange eSports, Orange Neolution eSports, as they are now known, and Rattlesnake Gaming, Chinese team. Oh yeah, it's Lanam's new team. For those of you who don't know, I believe he used to be ex-eHome, back during the eHome super team at the International 1. Anyways, so let's get just straight into the bans and picks, and two things I'm already really happy about, and it's a banned Lone Druid and a banned Lifestealer. Unfortunately, that means there's going to be a mag pickup right here, which means we're going to be seeing Mushi's mag, which is questionable at times. I remember when he was first getting into mag, he was not the best. Back during, right around the Armageddon tournament was going on. I remember LD just constantly sighing whenever he saw Mushi playing mag, and there's the mag pick. But there's also the Batride in the next bans, which means there's probably going to be a Rubik and a Cuddle pickup here. It's been the kind of standard pickups recently. I mean, Rubik just unbelievably good. Let me actually check something real quick. Okay, cool. My mic is going through. It likes to shut down every once in a while, that's all. But Rubik has the ability to deal RPs if he gets in position, which is very good, and Cuddle, just so good at counter pushing, keeping your team just constantly full of mana, makes so you can go around ganking. Telekinesis also helps you set up for really easy illuminates if used in correct conjunction. But that's just my thoughts. Actually, could be a Phantom Lancer also. Ooh, a Shadow Demon and a Clockwork. Okay, those were two picks I wasn't expecting as quickly. I think Clockwork's a much better 4th and 5th pick. 4th or 5th pick. But the Shadow Demon Clockwork, two really good supports. Both, or Clockwork for the long lane or mid. I'm not sure how Rattlesnake likes to play it, but either long lane or mid, just amazing for initiating, also very good for counter melee fights and stuff like that. Really good at just disrupting team fights that Magnus tries so hard to set up. So very strong pickup, I do like it. And then the Shadow Demon, just really good for saving people with defensive disruptions or starting fights with aggressive disruptions. Amazing setup. The amplify damage just does. I'm sorry. Soul Catcher. God, it's very late for me. I'm sorry, but the Soul Catcher actually just does so much, especially if you pair it with someone like Alina. Just does this insane amount of burst damage out of nowhere. Yeah, I really like these two pickups. I still think watching Clockwork is one of the greatest things. Just that hook shot it's like Pudge Hook, except really fast and really long and just silly. I don't know. It's nice. It's fun to watch. And just put it at that. I don't need to justify anything. Actually, I'm not sure what Orange is gonna go here. Remember the Phantom Cancer and good. Ooh, Rubik Leshrac. Leshrac is another hero that gets set up with Shadow Demon really easy, but it also gets set up with a Rubik really easily. And I know Extinct and Net are amazing together. Just watching those two roam, I believe it's Net. Oh my god, it's KYXY, they're a long laner. Oh, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting Ohio's on the team now. So it's gonna be Ohio mag. Okay, that's fine. Rattlesnake actually picked up a really early Jug. I'd like it, but I'm kind of confused where they're gonna go for it. Great mid-game hero, great pusher, kind of falls off in the late game, just doesn't have the same carry potential as such heroes like an AM, a Phantom Lancer, or something like that. So we still need to find Mushi's hero and KYXY's hero from Orange, and we still need to find another support and a mid from Rattlesnake. We have the Tinker ban out, and the Weaver ban out, both very standard. I mean, it's good long lane from Rattlesnake that they banned out, and Tinker's just an amazing counter pusher, and that's I have a feeling they're gonna have a lot of aggression between Rubik and Leshrac, and they're probably gonna pick up another pushing hero. Actually, Juggernaut would have been amazing for Orange's lineup, ironically enough. But I believe they should probably be banning out a Quap here. Quap can just really give Magnus a lot of issues, most of them unwanted.
10 seconds remaining.
But they also need to look for other supports. I really like a Lina ban here.
5 seconds remaining.
I think that Lina Shadow Demon, if you're just gonna give it away, is very silly. Okay, Panda Brewmaster, that also makes a lot of sense. They already have a Clockwork and they already have a Juggernaut, both which are pretty good at disrupting team fights. Juggernaut gets his ulti off, he's pretty much invulnerable. Well, he is invulnerable for that period of time. So if you're trying to lock him down with an RP, he can just start jumping around and be a nuisance. So no one likes that. Storm Spirit ban out. Mushi's been... Actually, I haven't seen him play it recently, but I know for a while he just plays a great Storm Spirit. Plays a great everything because he's Mushi, and Mushi is God. Fun fact, there's actually an equation that has been proven time and time again that Mushi equals God. You try and disprove it and screw you. Ugh. That was a really good joke. Right, comedy. And there's the Lena ban out. And the Darkseer ban out. Really easy long laner. And Lena just so good with Shadow Demon. It's not even funny. Also, I'm sorry if you guys are getting a little bit of an FPS issue. It's my computer. I'm currently home right now from college, and my laptop's made of wood. Oh, and actually a TA. A TA normally likes to go mid because of the fact that her traps make it so she has unbelievably nice rune control. Just lay one down there, both spots. Have guaranteed vision the entire time, and it's very hard to contest runes for people to contest TA getting the runes, if that makes sense. English is a very hard language. There's the lion. I had a feeling this was gonna come out if the Lena gets banned, and lion's unbelievably good because the Soul Catcher plus Finger of Death is just a guaranteed kill, pretty much. You just don't have as much early game damage like you'd have with a Lena because you only have one damage dealing spell instead of two. But still the same concept of just the Soul Catcher into the giant nuke of death, despair. So nothing wrong with that. So I'm not actually sure where this TA fits in. I think it's gonna be, unless they run aggressive tri-lane and then have the TA in mid and the Magnus in bottom. That'd be interesting. But against Lion, I don't think so. I mean, Lion's just a really good defensive support. That Earth Spike is just so good at disengaging team fights. So it's going to be really interesting. This last pick for Orange is really going to solidify their lanes if they're running aggressive or not. Because, I mean...
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, they could run a Bounty Hunter. I'm trying to think of other long laners or Prophet. Not actually sure. Ooh, a Morphling. A Mushi Morphling and a Shadow Fiend. Alright, that means that's a mid-Juggernaut. Shadow Demon... Wait, what? No, mid... What? Okay. My brain hurts. No, a mid... God, I'm an idiot. Mid Shadow Fiend, Shadow Demon, Juggernaut, Lion, easy lane, Clockwork long lane. So I'm not actually sure. Is this an aggressive? I think this is an aggressive tri-lane with a Magnus. So a Magnus, Rubik, Leshrac, aggressive tri-lane with TA in mid and Mushi in bottom. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. See Ohio already going up. All right, cool. It's gonna be a really interesting game. So before anything, let's go over our players. We've got Icy on the Juggernaut, Kabu on the Clockwork. Ooh, perfect. There's pause. And we've got the very terrifying looking Lion. I've never understood that cosmetic and he scares me. Lanham playing on the Lion. I believe that's Sage. playing on. I'm just gonna call him Sage because I don't want to call him Sagum. Sage on the Shadow Demon, and that leaves Luo on the Shadow Fiend. This might actually be an aggressive tri-lane with the Shadow Demon, because it looks like the Shadow Fiend's going mid or going top. So that would leave Clockwork mid and a Shadow Fiend or Shadow Demon, Juggernaut, and Lion bottom. I really don't like that because Lion requires a ton of levels before it becomes really good. I mean, that Hex just starts like really getting some good scaling after level 2 or 3. That Earth Spike, I mean, just look, it doubles and it over doubles in damage, and the duration of the stun goes up by 1.5 times. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's paused. We haven't seen other lanes develop yet. Anyways, we have Net on his Rubik, Mushi on the Morphling, very, very old school. And by old school, I mean TI2, but still. Shout out to whoever that is. Then we've got Extinct on Leshrac. I love Extinct's Leshrac. Actually, I think Extinct's an unbelievably good player. If you ever want to see one of the best trends in the world, just look up Extinct. That guy is crazy with trend. And we've got my old favorite player from, oh god, I want to say it's Mineski. Is it? Oh my god, someone's gonna kill me. No, it was the old team that used to compete with Orange at every event. Anyways, it's Ohio. One of my favorite players in the Southeast scene. I'd say it's Ice Ice Ice, Ohio, and Mushi are my 3 favorite players on way out of Southeast Asia. But yeah, and then KYXY on the long lane mag. It looks like actually it's going to be a defensive tri-lane, so it's going to be
30 seconds to showtime.
Alright, so who's going to stay down here? Is anyone going to stay down here? Alright, cool. Wait, I don't actually know. Alright, this is very interesting how these lanes are developing, because I don't know what they are. But all I know, Shadow Fiend's top. It's going to be going against KYXY. That'll be a very interesting lane to say the least.
The game is on.
Regeneration.
But we see. Yep, so it is going to be aggressive tri-lane down here. I really think they wanted Lina. I think that was a great ban. I almost think that they shouldn't have picked up the Juggernaut. I think they should have just straight up picked the Lina. But because it's pretty obvious now, they just really wanted a stunner to go with the Shadow Demon. But anyways, we've got Ohio in mid, already getting harassed up by the cogs, actually draining him of all of his mana right off the bat. Holy crap! Ever since they changed the cost of refraction up from, like, I believe 70 to 100, TAs have been having more and more mana problems, and that cogs just completely decimated him. And look, he's already gotten trapped in and losing quite a bit of health. I mean, look at that, he's already at half health. I mean, he just got his bottle, so he'll be fine, but certainly, I mean, this is a TA we're talking about, not, I don't know who else gets harassed, like a Pudge or someone else who gets harassed down really early in lane. This is crazy. Anyways, I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to this bottom lane to see how this aggressive tri-lane works out. Because we see Extinct and Net already doing their classic amount of pulling in that a lot. These are 2 of the most efficient farmers you'll ever see. Anyways, we have Disruption up, Earthspike perfectly timed, Illusion's blocking him out, so he's got to walk around the entire trees, and this is going to be our first blood. Juggernaut spinning him to death, but then Lion right click, and that guy won a prize. Congratulations. And now there's a ward there. Sentry, but it's still a ward. So that can't be blocked. And so far, this tri-lane actually working out really well for Rattlesnake. I'm pretty surprised. I wasn't expecting that. But what happened was that the when he disrupted right here, there was the two illusions blocked the path, so he had to walk around all the way around and take all the spin damage. So that was just really unfortunate. And started dewarding. Can you see that? Oh, there it is. I was gonna say that's pretty unfortunate. It looks like it must just be right out of range, like right there. Anyways, Mushi. Oh, let's bring up the last hits, just because it's W. Okay, but we see Clockwork and Shadow Fiend leading the way. Mag's still in there. I mean, nothing too huge. Clockwork and TA kind of just having a nice back and forth. See, Clockwork's actually coming out on top of this. And he's been getting the runes. He has the mana.
Grin.
But then again, actually, Ohio's not going for any points in Meld. He's got a second points in Psyblade. Huh, that could be really interesting. Meanwhile, Sports here, just being a nuisance. Lanham. Taking a lot of damage from the golems, actually, but just constant war battles going on. So let's see here. I really think that Extinct and that wanted to move around here. They thought that this was gonna be a defensive lane. You can see from the smoke, and they just, I mean, wow, actually. Extinct's already level 3, which is the same level as Mushi. I mean, he might just be sapping a lot of EXP from the lane, but at the same time, actually both the supports are almost level 3 here. And once again, I'm sorry, my computer's made of wood since I'm back home from college for now and don't have my desktop, which I feel really sad about because it's going to be some really good games tonight. And I was hoping to cast them in better quality, but I mean, this is what I have for now. And my mic broke, so you know, perfect vacation. Anyways, we see that Shadow Fiend and Clockwork are currently leading the last hits. Not terribly surprising. I mean, Clockwork and TA are very, very evenly matched. Mushi and this Juggernaut are actually very, very close. Nothing that I'm terribly surprised of because it's Mushi, but at the same time, I mean, he's had a ton of pressure put on him, just absolute ton. It sucks not only having one of your supports give first blood, but just there's something about a Shadow Demon that's just so obnoxious, and it's so hard to last hit around. But look, he's still, you know, managed to pick it off. Actually, Rubik lift and no follow up. All right. I see actually going for the early point in the healing ward. That'll be good for pushing this team, towers. Alright, Leshrac is going for the give Quin a heart attack build by putting up points to the lightning storm without informing me. Which I probably should have checked earlier, my apologies. Ooh, actually disruption goes off, spin goes down, no soul catcher, but spinning on 2, gonna probably take out net right here. No, actually managed to get the telekinesis off, but then dies. Shadow Demon gets the kill, but Morphling waves over, managed to kill the Juggernaut. Lanham taking quite a bit of damage from the from Mushi, misses the Earth Spike and dies. Actually, it's, oh my god, Mushi takes out 3 on the bottom lane. Just unbelievably well played. The Shadow Demon just, you know, just not having the best of time right now. As I was going on about how terrifying Shadow Demons are just by their existence, he just does that. Ignore me. Let's check the top lane. We see KYXY. I believe Bottle Crowing. Pause that from the check. But yeah, Bottle Crowing. Kind of how you have to deal with a Shadow Fiend. Actually, Shadow Fiend went for Tranquil Boots. That's pretty smart. I don't like the new Tranquil Boots very much at all, because the fact that you only get 25 movement speed from them. I didn't mind any of the other changes, other than the fact that you turn into a turtle now if you take any sort of damage, which is rather obnoxious. It just, like, especially on Lone Druid, you just kind of sulk around now instead of moving. But it also, I've noticed it actually makes him more reasonable hero to deal with. If you just stack any amount of slows on him now, it just turns to a crawl. But I mean, it's a smart enough build. Magnus uses Shockwave, you just tranquil up, restore the HP, good to go. See Kabu, looking to probably build up a quick drums or just a casual bracer. Either or, but still, both really good. I'm still just really intrigued the fact that he has 2 points in side blades, no points in meld. I mean, you don't need meld, and I think what he's looking for is a way to get around and deal with these cogs, which I find, you know, it's a nice little adaptation to the build. You know, make it so you're not just always going in the same, like, I don't know, just this something mindset. I'm completely blanking out. I'm sorry, but sorry, a closed mindset. Oh my god, idiot. But yeah. So instead of going under this kind of closed mindset, where it's like, oh, you know, this is the build, I have to do the build. He's kind of like adapting and saying, all right, there's cogs in front of me. I need a little bit more range so I can actually do things about it. And I'm not sure if he's going to stop at 2. Yeah, he is just going to stop at 2. Start getting points into meld now. Looks like the Tralion's going to rotate around. Either going to start farming up the jungle, or it's like Shadow Demon and Lion are actually going to head for a gank on mid. Realizing that TA is actually kind of low on mana, but actually has a bottled haste, so I don't think that's going to do anything. Oh, excuse me. But nothing will come of that. So they just kind of do a loop-de-loop. But as we see, Juggernaut now almost has his phase boots completed. Meanwhile, Mushi has his power trodes, has his ring of Basilius. Here's some spinning. Yeah, just doing some farming. And that'll be his phase. So they're pretty much on equal bars. Actually, meanwhile, big RP onto Luo. And that goes up top. Try and get the gank off. Now 3 back up top. KYXY is going to manage to get out. Now the Earthquake stops it. And TA also goes down. So, I mean, it's a 2-for-1. Trading your TA and your Magnus plus RP just for the SF. Is it worth it? You know, I'd probably say not. But it did free up a ton of room on this bottom lane. Now he knows that there's no support down here, so Mushi and Extinct can just have a field day on this Juggernaut. And see, now this Lion's kind of stranded up on top with not much to do except to get some solo experience, try and get 6. Nothing wrong with that. See this SF, doesn't have too much. We see the real story of this game so far has been this Clockwork. I mean, just absolutely doing fantastic in mid and just shows it in his net worth. Also with a kill under his belt, I mean, just very, very well played from this Clockwork. SF also taking. Yeah. Anyways, let's just go back to the last hits. Anyways, pause for now. So it's going to be interesting going into the mid game. I really do think Rattlesnake have the mid game advantage. I mean, the Juggernaut Omni Slash kind of peaks out at level 2. By level 16, I mean, typically you have quite a bit more health, and the bounces aren't as reliable because there's more of them, and typically you're starting to have team fights at that point. And then we have, but late game definitely goes to orange. You've got 2 carries who are just absolutely insane, the TA and the Morphling, and then you have it with the pretty much the best team fight ulti in the game right now. The RP just absolutely destroys, and if I say this game goes past 30-35 minutes without a huge swing in Rattlesnake's favor, this is totally going in at, not totally, but it's got a distinct chance of going in Orange's win book. But I mean, so far, let's check out the golden experience. It's okay, 1,000 in favor of Dire, and ooh, actually, that's They have a tower? No. So that's just about a little over a tower's worth of gold, or gold. Yeah, a little over a tower's worth, and I think it's just being outlaned a little bit. I mean, just the 35 and 23 to the 36 and 1. The Magnus is just kind of getting completely, I wouldn't say outplayed, but this is just how the matchup ends up working out. As soon as Shadow Fiend can get that plus 72 damage from the Necro Mastery, he just is impossible to last hit. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's hitting for about as hard as Shockwave is right now. Okay, he's hitting for half a Shockwave, but still. So the tri-lane, or at least one of the sports, has moved up back up to the top. Just gonna give some extra support out to the Shadow Fiend. Ugh. But meanwhile, the tri-lane's still bottom for orange, just trying to see if they can pressure out the tower. The threat of the line, ooh, actually getting thrown back into the impale. Actually, I think he could have gotten the kill with the waveform, to be perfectly frank. Oh, he doesn't have any points from replicate. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you got a point in replicate, I mean, you just throw him back. And it looks like Morphling is going to be going for the very standard Lincoln Sphere build, which, nothing wrong with it. I think it's a very good build. It gives you the mana regen and the stats you need, and the health regen is always nice, especially when you're on low health. See, Ohio, now up top, smoked up. Ooh, Purge goes down. Shadow Fiend just doing whatever damage he can. RP goes off, but really on nothing. TA doing quite a bit of damage to the SF, but that Clockwork just doing absolute work against TA. I mean, that battery assault just tears through the refraction charges. And the cogs made it so TA never really had that crazy advantage in lane that he'd want, because he could just drain all his mana. So that's like that Clockwork pick ended up playing huge dividends, and I like it. I like the Clockwork pick. I still think though that if they had picked up the Lena instead, that they would be so much farther ahead. If they had instead of the Juggernaut right off the bat, and I mean, because it's very rare, unless you see like a Chen or something like that picked up early, you're not gonna like ban out a Juggernaut. Like the Panzer push just like doesn't really happen. With like, I don't know. If you see a Shadow Demon Lena, you're not gonna be like, oh my god, they're gonna be pushing our base constantly. It's like, just kind of like, oh god, there's so much aggression on the field, and yeah, I don't know, and I'm still debating whether I like this, whether I like the Rubik, or if a Sand King would have been better. I still think Sand King is great. Actually, no, just kidding. I like Rubik more. This Clockwork is just getting bigger and bigger, and it's better to have a range hero against a Clockwork than a melee. And he already has point booster, so he's going to be looking to pick up his Aghanim Scepter in about 2.5K gold. Makes it so he just becomes the greatest initiator there ever lived. Shadow Fiend, ooh, managed to get the hook off. Battery Assault gonna tear through all the charges, but TA is just gonna sit invis and wait for Battery Assault to wear out. But can't really do that because you're getting Shadow Poison constantly and going to get rocketed again and die in about now. Oh, actually managed to get out relatively okay. Still another 2 refraction charges up. Actually trying to turn it around. Oh, I'm so sorry, I missed the kill on. Oh crap, they were pushing way too hard. SF comes in with an ulti, and I'm guessing also an Omni Slash? No, Omni Slash wasn't even used. But just a great combo between SF and Lanham's Lion, just absolutely desecrating the Rubik, Leshrac, and Morphling. Meanwhile, T actually managed to get out of there alive. Looks like he's gonna be going for Phase Drums, probably Yasha BKB. It's a more tanky, less hard carry focused build. It doesn't make you so much of a glass cannon. And personally, I prefer the build. The Desolator build just seems kind of gimmicky now. Just with all these team fight oriented lineups and stuff like that, you really just need the survivability. That's all there is to it.
You know the drill.
Looks like Juggernaut just managed to finish picking up his drums. You know, pretty standard phase drums on Juggernaut now. Just makes it so you can spin and guarantee that you're constantly hitting them. I believe I already pointed out, but Shadow Fiend picked up his Shadow Blade. Actually, I think that was the first time they had seen the Shadow Blade, so that would explain why they were so, like, why everyone died, because they probably were just thrown off by it. Check the EXP. Actually, almost 5k advantage of Rattlesnake now. That's pretty surprising. It's been a pretty passive game overall, but at the same time, just this SF just doing work. But at the same time, ooh, KYXY looks like he's gonna be going down to this purge. Throws him, slows him down quite a bit, but the range on the max skewer rolls him off to safety. Healing Ward goes down. That's going to be an easy T1. Easy T1. Juggernaut managed to get the last hit. Let's check the status on Mushi's. Okay. Looks like he's still about another 2,500 off his Lincolns, which isn't the best by any means. I mean, he's got the 1 death, but he's also got the 3 kills. Oh, sorry. Looks like another kill mid on the TA. Just the Earth Spike setting up so the battery cell can get right next to him, tear through the charges, then the rocket flare goes off and does max damage, so it doesn't have to waste a refraction charge, and just absolutely tears through TA's health. This looks like it's going to be another T1 to fall. This SF just does so much damage right now. But this is what's expected. Right around 15-20 minutes is when Shadow Fiend peaks, gets his first Shadow Blade out. Not his first Shadow Blade, but he gets his Shadow Blade out. First big item. Eventually we'll go into BKB. And then that will be his peak. After that, when, I mean, everyone will start getting more health. The second you can start getting stats. Just the ultimate's going to seem like it's doing less and less. Sorry about that. So it looks like the Shadow Demon, Lion, Clockwork just gonna be defending mid against all 5. Actually, Smoke Up on the supports. I'm gonna try and see if they can find a quick little pick off, but I highly doubt they will. I mean, they see 3 missing on the map. Ooh, wait, no Lion. All right, good. Actually, they're gonna be managed to possibly pick out the SF. I mean, their smoke was revealed, so they're like, oh man, it's nearby. Where is he? But just barely missed him. It triggered over here when they were down here. And now they just seem extremely confused. Like, is he invisible on top of us? No, where is he? He's actually on the other side. Okay, that's pretty silly. But anyways, I mean, what would you expect? I mean, they're still there. They're still just like, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back, I know it. But Trap's getting dewarded. Just making sure that this TA gets as little room control as humanly possible. And the supports are still here. They're just wasting time. It's 20 minutes and this Rubik is still level 6. I mean, they could at least be killing the camps or something. But they know these supports are off the map. They have to be somewhere they're trying to gank. And meanwhile, they just take Roche. I mean, what are you going to do? You're off the map somewhere and we're in Roche and you're not here. And they had all the vision in the world, so that was of no concern. And TA rightfully going back. That was going to be the ballsiest TA in the world. Ohio, I love you, but that was ridiculous, and you deserve to die for that. Solo Omni Slash cleans up the Blood Shock with little no problems, and it's looking more and more like Rattlesnake's game to lose at this point. However, we still have to remember that Mushi is farming during all of this. At least I hope he is. Yeah, it looks like he's only about 800 off from his is Lincoln's, but it looks like he's just going to be taking quite a bit of damage, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get out of here. Actually, he does with relative ease. Just kind of mans up against the clockwork for a while. Actually, manages to get the hook shot onto the to the Rubik, and then the finger of death finishes it off. But it almost looked like there should be no casualties there for a second. Mushi, pretty, I wouldn't say great, but I've seen worse Morphlings. 125 last hits at 20 minutes isn't the best. Once again, that's only about 50 last hits. 2 last hits every 10 minutes, so it's about 5 last hits a minute. I can math. Which is, it's 5 last hits a minute. And just 50. Anyways, 5 last hits a minute. So I mean, not the worst, but ESF's not too far ahead. The only difference is actually, do they have the same score? No, just a couple less assists. It just seems like this SF is doing he's having a higher impact in this game right now than this Morphling is, and that's just because. Oh, and actually, he has the Lincoln Sphere done. That's a very well timed Lincoln Sphere. 22 minutes after Treads and Aquila. Not awful by any extent of the imagination. I believe it'll be interesting to see what he goes for next, because I don't think he'll go for a shotgun. I think he needs to just be a proper carry. So going something like a Manta style. Oh, actually, Magnus just picked up his blink. So this is the thing: is that the later this game goes, the bet more in favor of orange. It's going to go more and more in favor of orange, just because their heroes scale better with items. We've now got TA with level 4 meld and almost her BKB. Well, like she needs about 1600 or 1600 more, 1800 more to get her BKB. So about halfway. She's halfway there. Actually, Mushi's gonna get ganked up, and that is a very dead Mushi. I am sorry. I love you, but you are no longer in the realm of the living. And all the rest of the supports just need to get out of there. But the point I was making, ballsy TP, but managed to get out just fine. But the point I was making is that orange is going to scale better with items, and they're already starting to get a bunch of the core ones out. I already mentioned the Lincoln Sphere, but Magnus also just picked up his RP. As soon as TA gets up her BKB, that's going to be another huge one. The Lion, the Clockwork, the Shadow Demon, the Shadow Fiend's ulti, and the Juggernaut all really aren't going to do too much. The only thing doing damage to her is going to be Juggernaut right clicks, but she's got Reflection to deal with that. Rubik still is the poorest thing in the world. The Shrek has the mana boots, so it's not the worst. But I mean, they're looking better and better to approach this in the late game, but at the same time, if they let these T2s fall, they're just going to be under a lot more pressure. I mean, it just makes it harder and harder to farm with each tower that's lost, so. I mean, if they can just delay it, if Mushi can leave a replicant here, and then just go and farm somewhere else, which is exactly what he's doing, then he might still have it. I still believe that Orange have a solid chance in this game. This isn't my fanboyism speaking. You just look at the lineup. The only really late game carry they have is a Shadow Fiend. And what really late game items does he have? Shadow Blade's good to a certain extent, but only really towards the mid game. Black King Bar is the start of a late game items, but it's nothing really great. If he goes for something like a Demon Edge right now and works into crits and a Daedalus, and then a Satanic, that would be in a Butterfly. Then those would be the late game items to really start doing things. But it's going to be interesting to see where he goes for with what he goes for with his items. If I see something like a Manta, I don't think they're going to have as strong of a chance. I still like it. I just don't think Manta's very good on Shadow Fiend. All of his damage comes from Necromastery. Is kind of average average mana. Meanwhile, it looks like Orange is looking to set up something up top. Lion, being the cruel-hearted bastard that he is, just snipes off an Iron Branch. Oh no. Oh, this is actually pretty cheeky. They've got Magnus Replicant, while the rest of their team is smoked. Actually, just going to go single RP onto Kabu. That is a sad Clockwork. Just going to get completely picked off, and now they have actually a pretty decent chance in order to push up the top. But it looks like they're just going to take this opportunity to farm. And you know what? That's pretty much exactly what they need to do. They need to find these little pickoffs, keep the game delayed as long as possible so they can keep... Excuse me. So that they can keep farming and farming and farming until they get all the items they could ever want. And then some. Because that's when they're going to absolutely destroy this game. And we can already look. The last hits are going more and more in favor. Actually, last hits really aren't worth anything anymore. Let's check net worth. We can see that the Shadow Fiend is clearly ahead of the net worth right now, just kind of having the biggest impact on the game. But Morphling isn't terribly far behind, only about 2k. Then the Juggernaut and the Clockwork follow, but the TA isn't terribly far behind. And if the TA gets another couple big items out, then, I mean, she's almost got her BKB. That's something. Not sure. What's this Juggernaut's? He looks like he's going for a So like I said, Drums Yasha actually finished up his Manta style. So that's a very, I'd say, interesting choice. Personally, I like to see Juggernauts go for another damage item first, and then just keeping the Yasha, because the Yasha is extremely cost effective on its own. And something to buff up the illusions. So another agility item. So something. I even like to see a quick butterfly from time to time. But I don't know, something like even a diffusal. A diffusal would be amazing against this team. Just the fact that I believe the mana burn actually counts as a source of damage, so it as a separate source of damage, so it would get through the refraction charges even quicker. But he's just gonna send out his Neolutions to farm, and you know, nothing wrong with that. I still think it's a great pickup. I just you can find there might be better ones. Anyways, looks like there's gonna be a spoke mid from the Dire. Just looking around, trying to find anything. Nice reaction by Mushi. Just the second he realized that, oh god, or the second he saw anybody, just was out of there. This Clockwork now also has a gem, so no more little meld shenanigans from the TA.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
So it looks like the T2 is gonna drop. Really nothing much that Radiant can do about it. Looks like they're just gonna try and defend the
Radiant's mid tower ain't doing so good.
Pre-defend the T1 top, or T2 top. And they're just gonna shockwave it, do a little side blade action, do a little fade bolt action, and that's really gonna end their push because my bad. Because there's really nothing else they can do at this point. I mean, you can't really breach high ground against the team just yet. The fact that there's a blind or an RP that you can't scout, just waiting to happen, is kind of crazy. But this Jug's already back up at 1500 gold, and if he goes for a butterfly next, I don't know what Orange is gonna do. I mean, no one naturally builds an MKB on that team, which I think leads to so many good opportunities that can be exploited. Or even just something like a Heaven's Halberd or something like that. Actually, that would have been interesting to see an SNY to start, and then disassemble it into the Manta and the Heaven's Halberd, because the Heaven's Halberd against, ooh, nice RP into the Skewer, but the lift stops it. Either way, looks like Juggernaut's probably gonna die. No, actually manages to make it out just fine. The Neolution's pretty much saving his life. Or not saving it, but securing his escape. That's probably a very, very angry Magnus right now. Angry KYXY, because Net canceled part of the Skewer by lifting a little bit prematurely. But meanwhile, looks like Roche is going to go down to the Dire again with really no contest. Orange can't safely leave their base and be confident. I mean, they can leave their base, but they're pretty much saying, alright, this life's over. Anyways.
Incoming.
Looks like Dyer's gonna try and find some way. Ooh, does Lion's play? Nice. I really like Blink Dagger on Lion. He is the slowest thing in the entire world otherwise. Ooh, Clockwork manages to pause the game for some reason. Anyways, what I want to say though was that Luo managed to pop his butterfly, and right as I was talking about there's no natural MKB buyers, we now have a butterfly on the field on an already pretty elusive Shadow Fiend. I say elusive because he's only died once. But let's move away from the mana drain sound. It's kinda weird. See, the best courier in the game right now, just kind of chilling. Just not even caring. The Hexapus is actually my best friend. So if there's any haters of the Hexapus, I don't actually know how you live life. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry, but it's true. So, I think just leaving this beautiful sound on during the pause is the ideal way to pass time. Isn't that just serene? Okay, I'm annoying myself. I didn't even know that's possible. Ooh, I actually really don't like this. Mushi looks like he's going for the shotgun build, so he's already got, well, not a straight up shotgun, but he's already got the Ghost Scepter. So it looks like he's going to be building into that Ethereal Blade to combine up with the Adaptive Strike and the Waveform for the insane damages. Personally, I don't like it anymore. The fact you can't do it in a Waveform just is the little nail in the coffin. I didn't really like it to begin with. It doesn't seem very Dota-y. It just seems like a massive gimmick and doesn't really reward strategy. It's kind of just like tee-hee-hee, I can run in and smack you in the face. It's like Nyx Assassin where you just kind of right click and dag in, and it's like, oh, well, I guess I won. Or Mana Burn, dagging. It's like all of his spells do the same thing, it's just all nuke. It's like, okay. Anyways, that rant will be for another day. Meanwhile, looks like Orange is going to try and counter push out as much as possible. And gonna be managed to force Rattlesnake back. And have them teleport, because my computer's died. So that's a cool ability they've just inherited. Kabu. Looks like he's probably going to be building into an... I don't know if that's going to be an AC or a Shivas. I'm going to guess a Shivas, though. Just because I love Shivas. Any other really big item pickups? I mean, this has been a very farm-centric game. So, I'm sorry if I'm talking so much about items, but they farmed for pretty much 30 minutes straight at this point. There's been, like, I believe, one team fight? Like, Magnus has been able to use his RP on solo kills, or just kill attempts, like, time and time again. Anyways, computer's lagging a bit, I apologize for that. But anyways, bot T3 goes down. Really not anything that Orange could do about it. I mean, they were doing everything they could, which is just spam out their abilities. Get rid of the creep wave, but really, it doesn't look like the Dire care. Anyways, Kabu just kind of manning up, not even caring. Yeah. I mean, the barracks already down to half health, and it's looking pretty grim for Orange at this point. I mean, they're 14k gold behind, and pretty much the same in EXP. That's very, very difficult to come back from. Even if they have the late game, they just don't have the items to approach the late game. TA only has a BKB. Mushi only has Ghost Scepter and a Link Sphere, but at the same time, might get a quick pickoff. No, don't get the pickoff on the SF. If they had gotten that, that would have been huge. Ooh, big RP onto 2, but gets hexed up instantly into the Earth Spike, and now KYXY is dead. Hook shot into the TA. Looks like Ohio is just gonna get taken down. The Omni Slash plus the battery cell, pretty much just tearing him apart. Unable to leave because of the cogs, and the Rax is gonna fall, and Shadowfiend sells this Aegis. So, ooh, triple Earth Spike into the Finger of Death. Huge play by Lanham. BKB popped, but really there's just not any damage. SF's gonna drop, but he's got the Aegis, the Immortal. I wonder if it's team. There you go. And Luo is going to take down the Morphling, and looks like they're probably gonna back off here. Yeah, Satisfied just taking the 1 melee rocks, the T3, and losing their Aegis. They're like, alright, cool, life can go on. We'll just go somewhere else and farm. Continue to be more and more ahead. Ugh. Anyways, so this is the part where we gotta look at Orange. Say, alright, Orange scrambles. Like, your supports don't have anything. Yeah, neither of your supports have anything. Your carry is relatively underfarmed, so what can you do? And Mushi's doing it. Just the infamous, just split push to victory. And I do believe this is a Shiva's now, because he's saving up so much for it. Or he hasn't bought another part for it.
Incoming.
I believe that he will buy the 2700 Mystic Staff. Okay, Juggernaut went for an Aghanim Scepter. I'm not a fan of this. I just don't like Ags on this hero. I just feel like it's too weak. I feel like just like a good damage item, like a Deso or something like that. Else, like a Deso would have been great here. You I mean, 5 armor. Tons of armor, no armor, very little armor, very average amount of armor. Could have opened up a lot of damage hurts, and it triggers off of every Omni Slash. So there you go. Oh, you can use items during Omni Slash. I actually didn't know that. Things you learn. That's your fact for the day. You can use items while on Omni Slash. Next time you Omni Slash on low health, make sure to use a salve. Ooh, that is a very, very dead Rubik, and it also looks to be a very dead KYXY. I don't know why they're fighting outside of their base, and just it looks like, oh, this TA is just also going to go down. 3 down for literally the price of nothing. And now Mushi going to get caught out by an Earth Spike, getting his mana drain. Kabu probably going to come in, do a little of the hookshot action, and Luo cleans up the kill, and that will lead Orange into a GG. 37 minutes, over 20k gold, 20k EXP advantage, and it looks like that is going to be game. Rattlesnakes, this is my first game I've watched them play, and you know what, I'm pretty impressed so far. They drafted a really cool team. I think that the Lino would have been better than the Lion, but I've said that a couple of times now, so I'm going to reiterate why. The Juggernaut ended up working out really well, and the SF just absolutely dominated the Magnus. I think it was because they were expecting a safe lane, like a long lane, Clockwork, a mid SF, and an easy lane, Jug, Lion, and Clock. So that's why they put their lanes how they did. But I mean, just it could have been the SF or the Clock up on top. Just Magnus loses to that hero. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the game. Orange losing to Rattlesnake 6-23, 38 minutes on the dot. I hope you enjoyed this little cast of mine. If you want more content from me, please check out my my YouTube, youtube.com/DitoneDota, and my Twitter, where I update when I'm going to be casting and whenever I upload a new VOD at just Ditone. Thank you so much for coming and listening to my cast. I hope you all have a nice day.